Hello, I am Sherry from the library, and I'm going to try to show you how to make a yarn doll. Only not the old-fashioned traditional ones, but a kraken. Or a little bitty kraken. Ooh. Anyway, we'll have 38 strands of yarn, which I will give you. And you want to remove 2 of those and fold them into thirds like that. Each of these yarn strands is 2 feet long, so if you fold it into thirds and if you have scissors you cut them on the ends, then fold them again, cut them in the middle, and you should have 12 4-inch pieces of yarn, and that's to tie everything with. So you take one of those pieces of yarn and tie the middle of all this other stuff. So you're going to have a big hank of yarn here. Okay, now I'm going to switch over the camera so you can see what I'm seeing instead of seeing me. Okay, now you have this long hunk of yarn with a tie in the middle. Hold it up in the middle and fold it in half. Straighten everything out. And about 2 or 3 inches down, you want to tie off a little neck for your critter. Oop. Don't worry how it looks right now. We'll fix it up later. So you have that. Boop, boop. Here's a better view of what we're making. Ta-da! Anyway, so now you have a little head and a whole lot of yarn. Now the next step is, now that you've folded it in half, from 36 you have 72. 72 little strands of yarn, and we want to divide this up into 8 arms or tentacles. And 7 times 8 is 9, 7 divided by 72 divided by 8 is 9. So count out 9 pieces of yarn for each leg. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you separate that. And you can do it all at once and then clip them, or you can just do it and go finish it up as you want. If you like it like this, you can just tie it, be done with it. But we're going to braid it. But I'm going to stop and divide all this up because you don't really need to see me dividing everything up. So now we've got everything all divided up. I have loosely tied each arm off. So you want to be able to get it off, so don't tie it tight. Or you can use clips or paper clips or clothespins or rubber bands or whatever. but you got all these little arms to deal with. And this is the last one I was working on. So you see what I've got here, besides a mess. Ta-da! And now we are going to braid the arms. You'll need something to keep his head down. And I don't have anything to keep his head down. Let's see. Anyway, a book or a shoe or a clip. See if I can clip it to this thing. Okay. Anyway, last time when I made Herman over here, I just put a book down on his head. Gave him a headache, but kind of painful to get all pretty. So divide each arm into 3 parts, so you'll have 3 strands of 3, and then we'll start braiding. And the way you braid is you just take the left side over the middle, and then this becomes the middle, then the right side over the middle, and that becomes the middle, left side over middle, right side over middle. You keep doing that. Make it a little tighter up there. If you don't already know how to braid. If you're a bald guy and you've never braided, that might be a learning experience. Anyway, you braid it all the way. I don't know if this is getting that very well, but we're trying. Braid, 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 braid. Braid down pretty near the end of what you're doing. And then when you get to where you can't really braid much anymore, you get one of your little ties and tie that off. And you don't have to use yarn. You could use a ribbon or rubber band or something to make it pretty. Well, not that a rubber band would be pretty, but anyway. And that's one arm. So now I am going to do the rest of them, and I suggest you do the rest of them too, and I will be right back. I'm about halfway through. How are you doing? Thought I'd do a little bit more on camera here. It takes a while. Now, so far I counted correctly, but if you happen to get 1 or 2 less strands of yarn than you should on your leg, I won't tell if you won't. And you see, it doesn't really matter what colors you use. Or if you're making your own, of course, you can choose any color you want. Make a big black dark scary one for Halloween, or make a really green and blue oceany one. All kinds of things you could do. If you're making a traditional doll, then you would just make the neck and divide the yarn into 4 pieces, 4 sections, and 2 of them would be the arms, and then you would tie off a waist in the middle of the other 2 together, and then either make it into one big skirt or divide it into 2 and make 2 legs. Then you'd have a little man. But Who wants to do that when you can do so many more? I'll be back. Okay, now that we've got all the little tentacles braided, should be 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yay! You can either leave the ends all mushy like this, all raggedy, if you want a really scary one. But if you want a nice and neat Kraken, trim off a little bit. Just trim off about half an inch to an inch, whatever makes them look good. And do all of your little Kraken toes. Every day that you give an octopus a manicure or a pedicure or a tentacle cure, whatever kind of cure it is. And I think I got all of them. Nope, missed one. See? Oop. Where am I? Anyway. And then you will have a mess of yarn. You can either toss or use it for something else, or you can roll it up, make it all fluffy, and stick it in the middle of your squid's head. Kind of shift the yarn around it. So you're kind of stuffing his head a little bit. You don't have to do this at all. But if you want a really round one, you could use, cotton balls or little tennis ball or whatever you got around that would make his head better. Takes a lot of poking. I just hate to waste anything. And you can hide everything inside. All the little bits that stick out. Not so bad. Now to decorate him, you could put a little ribbon around his neck, or you can just hide that underneath. Same for the tentacles. You can put ribbons in there or whatever. I'm giving you a few things, which I have forgotten my glue, but makes it hard to stick if you don't have something. Little piece of foam or such that you can put under his eyes. Kind of make it easier to stick on to the yarn actually, but you can make any shape, make little triangles or daggers or circles or ovals, or not use it at all. Put some eyes on there. see if I can reach my glue. If I can find my glue. Where is my glue? I have lost my glue. There's my glue. Okay. Make the glue go. Boop. There. So put some glue on there. You can put the eyes wherever you think eyes should go. Either on the sides or right at front together like a person. This guy needs to be on the side. Take a while. And then you'll have a little beak. Glue his little beak on. And there you have it. I'd take more time to make him pretty, but you can fix them all up different ways. Use your imagination. You could make him into a little pirate octopus with a eye patch, or you put a little cowboy hat on it and call it Kid Squid, or little Dr. Mirror and have your own Doc Ock. Have fun. If you did want to make a traditional ragdoll yarn doll, you take your bunch of yarn, you put it in half, you tie off a little head, you divide off some arms, you can count everything and be fancy if you want to. And basically you just braid this part, tie that off, tie the neck off and the middle off like before. You can give him a tie here for his waist, and then you can braid and then tie off the feet. And you can also tie on a little tassel and give him a haircut. Had a friend who made me a Spoctopus out of the other version, so they can have all kinds of stuff, all kinds of features. So remember, we're all into imagination this summer, so use it. Thank you for coming.